So yeah, here's the Eazypod. Still need to tidy up a few bits and bats around here, but hose and everything all connected. Just done a bit of a filter clean on the old Tempest. The Eazypod was done yesterday, so I think it'll probably be alright today. But yeah, some of you may notice there's a wire sticking out the top of my Eazypod. There's a reason for that wire. I don't know if the camera will pick it up in here, but you may see a slight glow coming from under there. Just there, that little blue glow. And what that is the wire's not long enough, but there we go. Little UV light. Now, that is not the original Eazypod light. They are about 100 quid for a full setup. That connector device came from a company that a lot of you have probably seen and heard of now, and I'll give you the details for that in a minute. But that is an adapter to adapt these cheap Chinese VUV. Now, this is the 13 watt UV. I think they're ever so slightly different sizes, but the adapters that this chap sells hold on to the UV. Let's say the cable's just not long enough to get it all the way out, I don't think, but yeah, that clips around the UV, comes in two parts, and it's 3D printed, wedges shut, and that UV then just sits in the water down there. And rather than 100 quid, I'll put up a picture now of how much they are, and they're only 10 quid off the Bay of V. So yeah, it saved me an absolute fortune. So stage 1 upgrade, stick the UV in it. Let's see how long it takes for the pond to go from green to clear. So day 1, that is how green we are. Very green. But the UV is now on, so we'll see how long it takes to clear up. Day 1, day 2. Day 3, now we're seeing some major difference. And there we are, day 8. Missed a few days because of work and things like that, and it's getting dark quite early now, so hard to record. They're just being topped up from the change, but yeah, that is not green at all really anymore. It's cloudy because of the amount of food that's still going in there, because I've still got the heater on. Yeah, they're all loving life. Once I remove a few of the fish, a few have already gone. I did have a bit of a problem with the fish when they first went in here. A couple had a bit of a bacterial issue, and rather than spend days and hours trying to treat and whatnot, I just whipped them out before it spread. I think 6 or 7 came out, and yeah, that was way back July time, I think. And yeah, ain't had a single problem since. So pond is working fantastic. So back to the Eazypod. Let's whip the lid off. You can probably see the second upgrade that I have done. Now, I said I'd tell you who they are. Sculptedlayers.com, and they 3D print things for the Eazypods, Nexuses and all that malarkey to make the filters slightly better. Now, this is the wider mesh. They do it in 2 sizes, but I'll show you how much it collects, because this has been in for a good few hours today. Look at the state of that. Look, nice and clean at the top, and then that's what it's taken out of the pond. Yeah, so they do work pretty darn well. And I went for the wider mesh because I've got an awful lot of fish in there, but when I do get rid of a few more fish, I may may go down to a thinner one, but I don't have the thinner one, so I'll have to contact Sculptedlayers again and get one. Bear in mind, this is not a sponsored video. I did buy all these upgrades, so yeah, let me go clean it. Now with these filters, I do recommend anyone that wants to buy one, be prepared to clean it quite often, depending on how many fish you've got in the tank. And not only that, you do need, as soon as it starts to block, you do need to clean it ASAP. I let this dry the other day and it took me ages to clean, but we've just taken it out, it's still wet. So all you basically do, get your hose pipe, turn it round. I always go round the outside quickly and then up near the bottom, go through the inside just to push anything out. Just a bit. Yeah, and you'll see now, clean as a whistle. So clean it as soon as you take it out. That's one thing that you will need to do, otherwise that would have taken me about 10-15 minutes. So yeah, that takes an awful lot of strain off the filter system. With the amount of fish I've got in here, I do have to clean it 3 to 4 times a day, every sort of 2 to 3 hours, because these guys are still getting an awful lot of food. They're currently heated to 15 degrees at the minute. In a later video I'll tell you why, because I've got some good news and some not so good news about my little air source heat pump. But yeah, anyway, that goes back in there, and then I've got one last upgrade that I've got, and this is the bit that most of you have probably seen by now. I haven't even put these ones on yet either. For those of you that haven't seen them, get all the bubble wrap off. These are Eazypod media preventer coming outers. Eazypod caps. No, let me remember how they go on. I don't know if these have a certain position they go in. That one and that one. That one. Why there's nothing fitting in this one? Ah, there we go. Get it under. There, we're in. That one was a bit tight. I didn't think I would need these originally, but after boiling this many times now, because as I say, you guys saw me install this few weeks ago for you probably, but we're up to date now. So for me, I installed this back in June-July time. So yeah, I'm a master at cleaning it now, and it's been working a good one. Really happy with that. So that's 3 easy upgrades. Now total for all this was around £45–50, which ain't bad really. Now I know it's not cheap, but you know, the guy's got to make a profit. He's had to buy the 3D printer, he's got to buy the stuff to print it. It takes an awful lot of time to 3D print these things, and he's got to put them together, ship them out, and all the rest of it. So for that, helping a small business out, I really like. So next time I do an Eazypod clean, I know you've all seen one a million times before, I'll now show you the difference with all my new upgrades for the Eazypod. So really happy with them, thank you very much. Now as you can see, he does have a website, which is sculptedlayers.com, and he's also on eBay as well, which is where I bought these from. So yeah, if you have your fitting on your, I believe he 3D prints these as well. So if you don't have this part on your Eazypod, which this is the lid that normally goes on there, and it's the UV ready Eazypod. If you don't have that on your Eazypod, I believe he does 3D print this part as well. So all you'd need is a hole saw to cut a hole in the top of your Eazypod there, and you can get a little UV in there. And that is why a fair few videos ago I said to you guys, I'm not putting a UV on the pipework anywhere, because I had that in mind from day one. Now, a lot of you are probably thinking, what on earth is he doing with all this bloody air pipe for his Eazypod? Again, there's a reason for that. Obviously, the back airline that's powering the airline in there is all nice and neat now, going through the hole in the wall. But this one I've left really long because I actually use this pipe for something else. So once disconnected, we use this year to blow up the dog's swimming pool, which was really quick and easy, absolutely fantastic. We were sitting there blowing on it for about 10-15 minutes, and it's quite a big blow up dog spray paddling pool thing. I looked at the air hole and thought, ooh, it might be an easier way. Tried it, plugged this in, it was blown up within about 3 seconds. But no, what I do with this is I bring this over here once the air's on, jam it on there, and if or when I need to give the Tempest a really good boil, I do that way. Now, it's not an airtight fit. This pipe could do with being a bit thinner. I could probably put some tape or something around the airline, but if I just hold it there when I'm boiling it away, that works an absolute treat. So that is why I've left this line longer than it needs to be for now. But I may well get a 3-way one of them or 4-way one of them like I've got in the filter house over here. In fact, what I could do, because I've only actually got 2 airlines in there. Got the one obviously for the bottom drain and the one for the drum, and I probably won't add anything to that system because it's been running flawlessly now for 3.5 years. So yeah, I could swap that one for that one and job would be a good one on there, because then I can tinker with this one, because I do need some more airlines, because some of you eagle-eyed viewers out there may have noticed in here, going all the way around the back, is a bit of guttering. I've just moved the trickle in there to show you guys, and that obviously goes all the way around there, and there's a 360 turn and comes back on itself and is currently dribbling into the pond. Now, my plan with this is, how well it will work, I don't know, but I've just been out and bought all the bits for it at the weekend. But my plan is to grow things in here, so use it as not a bog filter per se, but it's the perfect size to put plant pots in. And I thought, well, rather than soil, if I fill up plant pots with gravel and grow stuff in, like Mind Your Own Business, the watercress that I've got kicking about, and anything else, hydroponics, phonics, whatever you want to call it, basically, see how we do. And apparently certain strawberries do well in hydroponics, certain tomatoes do well in hydroponics, so I could fit an awful lot of plant pots in and around there. That will help keep the nitrates down. Won't do an awful lot of filtering of the water, but would certainly keep the nitrates down and help with the nitrites a little bit as well. So yeah, that's my plan, but the way I'm going to do it is going to try and make myself an airlift. Now, I've got most of it already, well, I've got all of it. Got a 3-inch pipe down there into said rubber boots. That then comes up to 1.5-inch pipe. What I'm going to do, I've changed my mind, I was going to just have that like that, but I'm now going to put a T-piece in there instead, so it's got access for the air to escape up there, and then hopefully the water will flow through there. And that's going to sit, I've not glued it or anything yet, that's going to sit in this corner on there somehow, and we'll see how we go, which is why I need these guys. They're not bothering me sticking things in the water, but that is why I want some more airlines for this pond. Stick that back on there for now, stick that all back on there. Yeah, so that's my next project, so I'll show you how that works in an up and coming video, if it works. I did have a similar setup on the blue vat, never really went into much detail about it. Garden's getting tidier. Yeah, I had this in on the blue vat. It worked beautifully, because if I ever was topping up the blue vat and left the hose pipe on, rather than it just spilling over the sides, the airlift would pour more water out of there, so it never overflowed around the edges, which was a bonus. And plus, because I was leaving it on 24/7, all the protein was being kicked out of the blue vat, which is why the blue vat never looked all frothy like it currently does at the minute. So obviously the protein is going to be going around the gutter, and whether the plants will take any out or not, I don't know. But yeah, just thought I'd give it a try, see what happens. And I never obviously will need to water the plants, because the airlift will be feeding them water from the bottom. So fingers crossed I can get the airlift to come high enough. I mean, the air pump I've got is more than powerful enough to do it, so we will see. I will have a play around, work out the best way that I'm going to do it, make some cuts in there, and then job will be a good one. Oh, forgot to mention my little 3D shark. This came with a Sculptedlayers order that I placed. I did order all them together at the same time, and in the box came a little 3D wiggly shark, which obviously he's 3D printed himself, and a little bag of Haribos, little teddy bears. Now, I've been waiting months to eat these, because as I say, all this stuff got delivered sort of around end of July, August time, and I wanted to show you guys how nice of a chap he is. A little 3D shark. So yeah, I've got some titivating and tidying up to do still with this, but yeah, all in all, working an absolute treat. The fish are uber happy, and there's no more problems in there. As you can see, they all want a bit of food, so we'll chuck a load in. Thanks. I get absolutely soaked stood here. But yeah, what I've done, a little bit of pond liner on there just to cover the window, because they splash so much. They're forever spilling the water down this side of the window, and then I end up with streaks like that. So I've put that there to limit the amount of water that comes over the window. All looking good. Let's get some food for these guys as well. Nom 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 nom. You wouldn't believe it's only 12 degrees in there, would you? Nom 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 nom. Yeah, 12 degrees in that one, and 15 degrees, I believe. Oh no, it's gone up by 0.5 in that one, but it is set to 15. But yeah, this unit and this pond are working brilliantly together, but there are a few disadvantages of this particular filter. Although it's uber cheap to run and very, very good at what it does, there are a few disadvantages. So I'll do an update video and a full, 6-month review now on that in an up and coming video. So Eazypod is now fully upgraded. Not sure if there's any more upgrades you can do for an Eazypod. Stick a UV in it, put your sieve in it, put your guards on it, job's a good one. So thanks all for watching, like the video if you haven't already, and we'll catch you on the next one.